This cold and flu season, Instacart is here to help deliver all of your sick day essentials. Whether you're in prevention mode and need vitamins, hand sanitizer, and that lemon tea your Nana swears by, or you're in healing mode and need medicine, soup, and a lot more tissues. Simply download the Instacart app and get sick day supplies that reinvigorate or relieve, delivered in as fast as 30 minutes. Plus, enjoy $0 delivery fees on your first 3 orders. Excludes restaurant orders, service fees, and terms apply.
Last week, we watched The Score.
This week we watched The Dark Crystal.
And in these dying Dark Crystal lands, the connection was Frank Oz. Welcome to Oldie But A Goodie. My name is Zach. I am joined by Sandro.
Whoa.
And we, today, for the first time ever, are reviewing a movie.
Oh, are we? I thought...
But not just any movie.
Oh.
We're reviewing a story.
Oh.
A picture. A fantasy. A puppet.
Ooh.
We're reviewing The Dark Crystal.
Oh my goodness, it's a movie with puppets, and it's the... What?
Vaguely related to The Labyrinth. And I hadn't seen it before. Sandra, have you seen this film before?
Yes, I've seen this 1.5 times before, I think.
Huh?
I think I watched half of it on TV at some point when I was a kid, but I don't remember. And then I watched it all, 10-ish years ago for the first time, I think. Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Seems reasonable.
And so I have, my opinions with The Dark Crystal they're very opinion because I've seen the movie before, so I have opinions. But Zach, we will do non-spoilers and then spoilers, but I want to ask you, what are your opinions? Because you just watched it then.
It's true. I did just watch it then. I literally, I was watching it on the screen, and then as soon as bam, podcast starting.
Damn.
Didn't watch it last night. Dark Crystal, I'd never seen it before. I'd always wanted to. Mm-hmm. Mostly because whenever you search up The Labyrinth or The Dark Crystal, either one shows up. I don't know what the connection actually is, because I haven't seen The Labyrinth in ages.
They are Jim Henson's 2 non-Muppet movies. It's the only real connection.
Jim Henson. Yeah. Well, that's the thing, but there is still puppeteering.
Yes.
So it's not like they're both non-Muppet movies, because there are Muppets in it, essentially, right?
Kinda. I mean, but Muppet movies are they're very meta and they're full of songs, whereas with these 2 movies...
Yeah. They're not specifically the Muppets. I get what you're saying. Yeah. You know.
I mean, Dark Crystal's very serious. Labyrinth is on the line. I don't know if you've seen it. I love Labyrinth.
I've seen The Labyrinth. No. Well, The Labyrinth is not serious in the mean sense. It's mysterious.
Yeah,
as it were.
For sure.
Yeah. I liked this movie. I had a lot of fun with this movie. I feel like this movie was just on the cusp of being one of the best movies ever.
Oh wow. Okay.
And it was just not quite there, so it was just a really good movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think I know what you mean.
That being said, it's still a really good movie, and I really enjoyed it. For me personally, I really liked it. I liked the world. The world was super awesome. Probably the best part of the movie was just the world they created in this.
Yep.
It worked very well as that sort of this is what an alien planet would look like sort of thing.
Yeah, for sure.
I liked the puppeteering.
You'd better. It's the whole point of the movie.
Yeah. And I'll tell you, there was at least one review that didn't like the puppeteering, so...
Oh, really? I cannot wait for that.
But more to the point, I like the movie, I like the effects. The story,
I
don't know. The story was fine. Maybe it was just the characters. I don't know. There was something a little missing from that, I felt.
Interesting.
Like the story itself, like the overarching plot was good.
Yeah.
It's just like, I think maybe just the main character, he was a bit wooden, as it were. Because he's a puppet.
He's a puppet.
But like, it didn't felt as creative as it could have been.
Yes.
I don't know about you. And I wanted to save this joke for later, but I really can't. But when I saw Luke Skywalker talk to Master Yoda, and then Master Yoda faded away, I was like, hang on a minute, this seems like something I've seen before, right?
Yeah, no, for sure. I completely get what you're saying here.
And it's very straightforward and like generic of a plot. There's no real like, you won't be surprised terribly where the direction goes plot-wise. It's just very similar to a lot of... If I hadn't seen any other movie before this, any other fantasy movie,
Yep.
I definitely would have liked the plot a bit more. But it follows a very generic trip line of the literal chosen one has to go do a thing because the prophecy says so. And then you follow the adventurer doing adventure things.
Yeah, exactly.
Still better than all of Rebel Moon.
That's true. That is correct. Yes.
Yeah, that's my thoughts. What are your thoughts, Sandro? Because I'm sure they're going to be big and negative because you hate fun.
No, my thoughts, the first time I watched it, and they haven't changed too much going into this one. Yeah, exactly the same. The first time I watched it, I was like, wow, technically this is incredible, but where more substance could be good, maybe. Because it is, it's very like, it's kind of like if you're reading a pre-Lord of the Rings fantasy book, and it's exactly, like, it's just the basic fantasy.
Yeah.
Which is fine, and it works, but I think that I do prefer a little bit more going on in my movies.
Yeah, again, it's just like, we've seen this before. If it had just done something a bit different, a bit new, it could have been just a little bit more creative. It was just like, maybe a twist here and there. Like, I don't know. Like, it's the one part about the movie that I don't completely love. I love the rest of it.
Yes.
It's just the only gripe I have with this movie.
Yeah, I completely agree. And it is, like, on the rewatch as well, it was interesting because I was paying attention to the movie, but there were definitely parts where I was just talking with my partner about the movie while watching the movie for like 5 minutes because we'd both seen it before. We both like it a lot, but there's, it's not like once you've seen it, there's not a whole lot that you can really get out of it again, really, I feel like with this one. Because, that's not entirely true because I think this movie does a lot of really cool world building, but it's like that style of...
Oh, the world building's awesome.
But it's like, it's like that style of world building from like Dune where you don't know what the hell is going on for like half an hour.
Yeah.
Which I love, but on the second time around, I immediately knew what was going on. I was like, that's because of that, that's because of that. And like everything ties together really well. So that was really cool on the rewatch. That's probably...
The world building's amazing.
Yeah, it's probably like the only thing that really changed, in my opinion, this time around. Aside from that, everything, I completely agree with you. Like, I think this movie's like really quite good, but it is a little like... it's small. I don't know. It's quite small. It doesn't do a whole lot in terms of the story, but that's fine.
Yeah, I don't think the smallness mattered to me so much. It was just like, it was more generic.
Yeah.
Like, you could be small and you could be different.
That's true.
It was just like your typical hero's journey, essentially, right?
And it isn't even really like, it isn't really a hero's journey because I don't feel like the main character of Jen has an arc at all.
That's true. Yeah. He doesn't really evolve. It's like he's not even reluctant at first to leave, really. He just does it because he's told, right?
He's very, and I will immediately use a point that my partner made and steal it straight out the gate. He's very link-coded. He doesn't have a character and he doesn't really do anything, but he also saves the day, but also he's just kind of there for the princess, which we'll get to later. But
he's your typical, like, main character in a book or something where they don't give him any personality, so you can put your own personality in their shoes.
Exactly.
So you can be the main character sort of thing.
Which I've got no issue with, because it's a 90-minute movie with a bunch of puppets. Like, it's not, I'm totally fine with that. But yeah,
I do. Fuck him.
Oh my gosh. And just like Link, he is completely ungendered.
That's true.
In his appearance, which I like. But then you meet another person of his race, and she has boobs, and you're like, okay, well, that is that one. And she's got blush and eyeshadow, and you're like, so this character must be a man, because he doesn't have that.
Yeah, we dodged the trans icon.
We did.
Movie thing, unfortunately.
We just dodged it.
I mean, there is literally a line in the film that says, because of a reason, it's like, oh yeah, the reason is because you're not a girl.
Yes. Oh, yes.
So it literally, like, flat points it out at one stage. I don't want to spoil it, obviously.
Yes. No,
but it literally points it out, the genders, which was funny.
It was quite funny. I've got a few questions to ask you, since it's your first time watching it. A few questions.
I can answer all your questions.
That's more of a spoiler question. I was just going to ask you, when did you figure out what was going on? But that's for later. We'll talk about that later, because there's a lot of depth.
I think I only really picked it up later on when it was blatantly obvious, because I wasn't really thinking about it.
Yeah, you were just kind of watching.
I was just kind of zoning out. I wasn't but like, I don't want to spoil it either. Yeah, we'll get to it. I don't want to spoil it.
Okay, questions. The first time I watched it, I wasn't, like, annoyed by the voice acting, but I was definitely like, this is a lot of, like, Transformers-level high-pitched voices, and it's a little bit grating. Did you like that, or did you, like, what was your first impression to all the Skeksis being like,
Well, to be fair, that's only one of them.
That's true. It's only Chamberlain, really.
Yeah, and he gets crapped on during the film, which is very funny. So I think deserved, honestly. First off, deserved.
Yes.
Like, just don't be an annoying prick, and maybe people won't treat you so shit. You little shit.
You little dum-dum.
I wasn't annoyed. I knew that might annoy you. Which was maybe which is what helped me watch it.
Yeah.
Was the as in a lot of films, I didn't find it so bad because they're puppets. I think like I can give it to the puppets. I know I really didn't like Zed in Police Academy.
Yeah, that's fair.
I really hated his thing.
Yeah.
And I don't know why it really rubbed me the wrong way, but whatever he was...
Because it was ableist as well. Because it was ableist on top of annoying.
Yeah, I don't know what it was. It's something... I like a bit of ableism, obviously, as we all do, but...
yeah, see, last week on the podcast, both gave it a goodie.
That's true. Woof. But no, I liked... I guess I really liked the narration.
You did like the narration?
Yeah. I know people boo-boo on narration a lot.
All right.
But I was down for it because it was doing my number one thing, which is world building.
That's true.
It was doing a lot of world building.
I don't know. I feel like the movie would not benefit from no narration, but I think it would be cool if there was a version of this that doesn't open with that long narration, and you're just kind of like it's kind of like The Hobbit, where like introduced to Jen immediately without really knowing the overall world.
Yeah. That you definitely like. I think that's a problem with this film and other films like that use narration is they don't know how to explain the world to you.
Yeah, they just got to tell you.
So they just tell you, right? And I think it's not the worst way they can introduce you to the world, which is why I'm kind of in favor of it.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because I'd rather them do narration than do it poorly, right?
Yeah. You know what? That is fair. And also, like, the Dark Crystal, compared to a lot of other dark fantasy stuff out there, it's not complicated, but it's not easy to understand compared to, like, Star Wars. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's a lot more going on here, I think.
No, but that is an interesting point, because we could have just followed the main character, and it's like, we could have been him in his shoes when the old guy goes, hey, you need to go do blah. Go figure it out.
Yeah.
And, like, he's a bit lost, because he's like, I don't know how to do it. He didn't explain anything. Like, we could have been there, and it would have made the points later on where they reveal it's like, oh, we have to do this, which we knew at the start of the film as the audience. Like, it wasn't hard to figure out. Like,
yeah, that's true.
So that's a good point, actually, because that's part of the overarching. I think you're right. That's part of the overarching whole like story was very bland. Problem. The story was very generic. Was that they did explain a lot of it.
Yeah.
To start. But I did like the Xerxes. I liked the Xerxes, and it was like doing names, but also some of the names were really like just generic. I don't know. It was very funny to me.
Yeah, the Skeksis are, Chamberlain is the famous one, because he goes, But there's, like, High Priest, and there's, the Slave Master, and there's the Scientist. Yeah, they all, like, their names are their roles, which is important for later, but, no, that is, I don't know, it makes it easy to remember them, though. Like, they all look like their roles as well. They're all dressed to look like their roles, which I think is really cool. There's some cool, obviously there's a lot of attention to detail, because it's a Jim Henson puppet movie, and that's what he does, but, it's good. I like as well how it's like, this is this a kid's movie? You can watch this as a kid, but it's fucked. This is fucked if you're a kid. You're going to have so many nightmares.
Yes, no.
You disagree?
I think it definitely like, you wouldn't introduce it to 10 and below. I think you're not showing.
I'd say the cutoff is like 12, to be honest.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I was going to say, bad for anyone below teens. This is 13 and up, right?
Yeah, because it's like everything's ugly. This movie's so violent.
I feel like even 11 and up you could do. I feel like at 11, I think at 11 I watched like Lord of the Rings. Like I was ready. I've never had any nightmares from movies specifically.
That's true. You haven't, and I know that for a fact. I'm there all the time.
Yeah. You're in my room making sure that everything's cool.
That's right. Just full Edward Cullen staring at you the whole time.
Don't say that. Don't remind me of Twilight when we're talking about some fun fantasy world building.
Oh, imagine Muppets Twilight. That'd be sick. Anyway, keep going.
That'd be very funny.
That'd be hilarious. Who would be who? Fozzie Bear is Jacob.
Oh, Sandra, it's very easy. You've got Kermit the Frog and Miss Piggy. Miss Piggy's
Bella?
Yeah.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Because she's fawning over fucking Kermit the Frog, right?
And Fozzie's there being like, choose me.
Yeah. Fozzie's the werewolf. That's very funny. Waka waka, yeah.
And the eagle is the dad. Hell yeah.
Yeah, of course. Eagle. Yeah.
But who's the one human? There always has to be one human.
The Swedish chef.
The Swedish chef? Oh, no. There's always like one non-Muppet whenever they do Muppet versions of...
Oh, I see what you're saying. Oh, that's a...
Which character? Renesmee, the baby?
I was thinking of that one as well, and Katy Perry came to mind.
Oh, Katy Perry is Renesmee. I'm a fan. I'm a fan of this. This sounds terrible. We'll sell it to Disney.
Yeah, no, I was only thinking it because she's on that episode of Sesame Street or whatever.
Is she?
Yeah. This is Sesame Street. They've had, like, every celebrity on there.
That's true, they have.
Oh, they could be the cactus.
The human is the cactus.
Yeah, the human is the cactus.
The human is the giant cactus. It's the cactus that Bella...
Hell yeah, dude.
What a niche reference to the Patreon episode we did on the parody of Twilight.
Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, like all the puppets are incredible in this. I think it's like this movie looks incredible. But it is...
The sets were awesome.
Yeah, 100%. The visual effects are really cool too. Like there's some CGI here and there, which was pretty good as well.
Yeah, there was a bit of green screening. I'm sure you noticed.
Well, the bats was pretty bad.
Yeah, and like right at the end, the main character's on a green screen, but like we've seen worse. We've seen much worse. It's old green screen, right? You notice it, you go, haha, look, it's old green screen, you move on, right? It's no problem. I could extend my disbelief.
I just got a text. Miss Piggy is Edward, actually, and Kermit's Bella. Yeah.
Oh, that's way better. Yeah. That's very funny.
I watch you when you sleep, Kermit.
Yeah. I see it now. No. That makes way more sense, right? because they can be very dramatic about it as well.
No, exactly.
And Kermit could just be like not interested at all in Edward whatsoever.
Oh, you know who the one human is? It's Anna Kendrick is the best friend because she hates being in Twilight. So we'll bring her back.
Yeah, that's very funny. She could just shit on Twilight the whole time.
Oh, that's a great idea.
That'd be very
I love
cathartic.
This. Yeah, I love this. What's some other non-spoilers? I like how like this movie is so ugly. Like all of the designs.
Whoa.
No, but like in a good way. You know
yeah.
how like Muppets and Sesame Street, everything's kind of cute, right? Everything's like there's some.
Yeah. I know what you're saying.
Yeah. But, like, in this one, everything's ugly, and then even the cute ones, like the dog, it just screams.
Yeah,
Just
I don't know if ugly's the right word, but, like, some of them are purposely ugly.
Yes.
Like the Skeksis and whatever. Like, there's some ugly-looking boy. Like,
yeah.
Things look creepy. Things look weird. Things look strange. Yeah, even the dog thing... I don't want to say it looks ugly because it is quite cute, but like it can like unhinge its jaw and open up, and it has like a second set of teeth. Like things are a bit more scary. They seem a bit more real. They seem a bit more fanciful. You know.
Yeah. No, for sure, that's true.
I'd say scary is more the word.
Scary rather than
think
ugly. I agree with this.
Yeah. Because, like, again, the dog's fine. It's just kind of scary. Like, when you first see him, he's all gnash and teeth. And these are like, ooh, that's a little scary little thing.
I love that dog. It's my favorite dog.
It reminded me of fucking the Endor movie we did.
Oh,
do you
God.
remember that?
Yes, I remember that.
Yeah. And, like, they're poking in the hole and the teeth come out. I was like, oh,
yeah.
hey.
That's right. That movie that completely ruined the Star Wars lore. That's right. What a great episode. We need to do the sequel at some point.
Chickens exist in space.
Chickens exist in Star Wars now.
And donkeys and ferrets.
Speaking of the Skeksis, look, there's a lot of talk online about how they're a little bit anti-Semitic. So much so that in the prequel TV show, they mostly entirely cast Jewish voice actors to play the Skeksis. Like, not entirely, but there are, that they definitely made a point to put, like, Andy Samberg in as one of the Skeksis and stuff like that. But, do you see that? I saw it less this time. I saw it a lot the first time around. This time I thought that the Skeksis actually looked a lot more like Mongolian this time around, which is interesting because then the Mystics look... I think my partner said they looked quite Tibetan when I mentioned that
Yeah, they have a Tibetan vibe to start off because they have the sand art,
that's
which
true.
is a very Tibetan sort of tradition. So they have a more monk-like sort of thing. I did not think anti-Semitic till you said it right now.
It's just the way that they walk, and like it's very like Nosferatu. This feels like there was something a bit icky going on when they designed this.
Okay,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I know you used to be very anti-Semitic, which is why you thought that, but like... Hey, used to, Sandra. You're a lot better nowadays, You stayed off the forums. But
stayed off of 4chan. This is a joke. This is a joke.
No. It's interesting, because, yeah, I see the sort of Mongolian thing you're kind of saying, because they have the outfits, the very, like, extravagant sort of outfits.
Yeah.
I got more, like, Victorian. They were kind of Victorian. Yeah.
I see it.
It was mostly in the, like, their dining scene, right? That felt very, like...
Oh, yes. I love that scene.
Victorian era, monarchy sort of thing. They definitely have like a royal vibe to them.
Yes, definitely.
Sure. And they're like, they're rulers, they're conceited. They literally call themselves like the rulers and they're in a castle, right? Like that was more my vibe. I can see what you're saying in the other things. Maybe if I rewatched it now, I might get the same sort of similar vibes. I'm sure there's some influence somewhere.
Yeah.
It's Hollywood. There's got to be some racists in there, right?
That's right. It's the 80s as well, so,
Yeah,
Jim Henson was coked out of his mind. Yeah, no. It's interesting, though. I think this is... Because last week we did the score, which was directed by Frank Oz. He co-directed this one with Jim Henson, and I think this was his first directorial, movie debut. I think... and it's good. He does a really, really good job. Obviously, after this, he did Muppets Take Manhattan, Little Shop of Horrors. He did great movies after this. I love all of his films that I've seen.
Little Shop of Horrors is more Muppety because there's more songs, which is funny because it's also definitely not for kids.
That's right. There's some songs in this though. There's the Poglings. They do their Cantina band song. Yep.
The little Poggers. Yep.
Their Jizz. What's it called in the Dark Crystal? It'll probably be called Criz. Crystal Jazz?
I think it's actually called Cum. Is what it's called.
No, you're right.
Yeah.
Crystal Music.
Cusick. I like Cusick as a word, actually.
Yeah. Spoilers. We'll go to spoilers. Is this an oldie or a goodie?
I'm ready. This is a goodie. I quite enjoyed this.
Nice. Hell yeah.
With a little tweaking to the story to make it better, I think you could really elevate this to one of my favorite films of all time.
Well, Zach, that sounds like what you should do is you should resubscribe to Netflix and you should watch The Dark Crystal Age of Resistance, which is the prequel television story. If you want 10 hours of Dark Crystal entirely puppeteered by the Jim Henson Company, it's so good. It's so good. It's great. It's
awesome.
Honestly, it's better than the TV show. It's better than the movie. I love the TV show.
Wow.
It spoilers, they cancelled it, so it doesn't really have an ending, but it's very good.
Well, you just raised all my hopes and dreams and then immediately crushed them. Like usual.
I think they'll make more. They just need to get money because it's very expensive and no one wants to fund an entire puppet
That's
TV
fair.
show.
Man, Netflix funds the dumbest crap, and then once they have something good, they're like, nah, actually no funding for you.
They're like, this thing that we put a lot of money in and got great reviews. Nah, never mind, actually.
Nah, yeah,
never mind. But no, yeah. The Dark Crystal TV show is fantastic. There's also a comic book series, which is an adaptation of the sequel script that I think Jim Henson and co-wrote.
Yep.
They were trying to make. I don't know why they didn't make it. Probably was just too expensive and no one wanted to fund it. Because I don't think Dark Crystal did super well when it came out.
Yeah. I think this one's definitely one of those ones that became a cult classic over time.
Yeah, definitely.
So the TV show, just a question, is it a prequel?
It's a prequel, yeah. So it's set...
Yeah.
I don't know exactly how many years it's set before the movie. It's quite a few. It takes place pretty far back. I think it's let's just say that there's a lot of gelflings. There's a lot of them. There's a lot of them
little
around.
Gelfy boys and or girls.
That's right. And no, it's great. I think you'd love it. You'd be like, hell yeah. You'd watch it all in a weekend and then complain that it doesn't have an ending.
That's it. Yeah, absolutely.
And the cast is great. It's just a really, really good time. Highly recommend that.
Well, that's awesome.
And Simon Pegg plays the Chamberlain, so he's the one going.
That's funny. I want to watch it just for that.
It's great.
Oh, by the way, Sandro, did you rate this a goodie or not?
Oh yeah. Nah, it's a goodie for me. Love this movie. It's a good movie.
2 goodies from us, which is well deserved, I think.
Definitely.
Good stuff.
Before we go into spoilers, I got some taglines for you.
Ooh.
When evil screams throughout the world, when all 3 suns converge, when all that's fair and fine seems lost, a hero will emerge.
Great. Good stuff.
So good.
Way too fucking long. Way too long. Dude, I'm back on TikTok already. I've scrolled through three fucking TikToks already,
back
mid-sentence.
My gosh.
But overall, pretty cool.
Yeah, nice.
I'll give it a shaky thumbs up. Too long, though. Too long.
Cool. You'll probably like this one, then. Another world. Another time. In the age of wonder.
Ooh, yeah, I'll give that a thumbs up. That's better. That's all you need. That's this is
a
tantalizing little thing. Not It doesn't give me any hints as to the movie itself, which is
not at all.
Not ideal, but pretty fun.
Yeah, I like that the movie, and like it opens with this too. It's like in the age of wonder, like that's like one of the first lines in the movie. I like that because it like almost fixes the problems that I have with it, where it's like, oh, okay, in the age of like being a child, in the age of like childlike stories, where they don't have a point. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Right.
I like it.
It's good.
It needed more Miss Piggy in it, though. I'll tell you how much for free.
For real.
Yeah. Well, shove adamantium into my bones and call me Weapon X, listener, because this is another ad with me, Sally McSeller. And I'm very excited because this month over on patreon.com/Oldie But A Goodie pod, Sandro and Zach have teamed up to start a brand new series reviewing every single X-Men movie that ever existed. That's why I did the Weapon X intro. Here's a clip from the first episode.
Sandro, who's your favorite mutant? What's your favorite mutant out there? What's one of your favorite mutants?
I mean, technically, Spider-Man did audition for the X-Men at one point. There was a comic book series when he joined the X-Men for a couple missions. He was also a member of the Fantastic Four for some reason. That happened in the 60s. But him being an X-Men doesn't really make sense. He was kicked out at some point, I'm pretty sure. He was there for a little bit.
Because they were like, wait a minute, you just got bitten by a spider. Get the fuck.
He's not a mutant. But by de facto, yeah, he is my favorite mutant for sure. Yeah,
Spider-Man?
Definitely
is your
Spider-Man.
favorite mutant?
100%. Well, that sure sounds like a lot of fun. Traveling back to 2000 for a very different time of superhero movies over at patreon.com/Oldie But A Goodie pod, where you can get the bonus episode of X-Men right now, as well as a bunch of other bonus episodes and a bunch of ad-free content as well. Also, early, too. You get main episodes early without ads, and you get bonus content like that episode right there, the X-Men one. You got a bunch of other series you can check out, or just keep following the boys as they review every single X-Men movie. I'm sure all of them are going to be great. I'm sure there's not going to be a bad one amongst them. No siree. Yeehaw! Alright, spoilers, watch out. Spoiler warning. They killed all the Gelflings. They're all dead. They did a mass genocide on all the Gelflings.
Whoa! Not all of them.
Aside from 2 that somehow escaped.
That's literally the plot line. Hey, it's like an Adam and Eve situation. Don't think about it, but they're going to have to repopulate the population. I'm just saying.
This is very true. So a general rundown of the plot, and then we'll go through all the details, is so we got Jen. He's a Gelfling.
It was when the Mystics left their place to travel to the Crystal.
What was?
That's when I realized what was happening.
Oh, that's when you realized what was happening. Yeah, for sure. You didn't realize when one of the Mystics died, and then immediately one of the Skeksis died as well?
No, because, maybe, because there's, when the Emperor dies...
Yes.
And the other guy dies. I didn't realize it then. I can't remember if there was something that happened before they started their journey. I don't remember one of the Skeksis dying before, because I remember during their journey, one of the Skeksis dies, and one of the Mystics just erupts. They like all look at this one guy who erupts in flames and then just disappears, and then they're like, "Alrighty then," and keep going, which was very funny.
It's pretty obvious when that. Also, I like how all of the Skeksis have like a weapon that they're always like carrying or is always like near them, and then the Mystics have like a staff version of that weapon that they're like that they're holding, which is really cool too. But yeah,
that didn't occur to me then with the staff thing, but yes. Definitely when
one went up in flames.
As soon as they were like, okay, we're gonna have a journey, I'm like, because they're like the same. They came from the same. They're the same people. They're the same.
It's so the concept is so interesting, and also just kind of fucked up. Where it's like these interdimensional alien beings were like I don't know exactly what happened, but they were like, we're gonna split. And the 2 parts of them became 2, like, races, the Skeksis and then the Mystics, right? The Skeksis were, like, the evil ones, and they took control of this random planet of the Gelflings. They just took control over the whole thing, and they've got the big, powerful crystal, and they're like, we're guarding the crystal, we got all the power. And then all the Mystics were like, we hate those Skeksis, but we're not going to tell anyone what we are or what's going on. We're just going to wait for the prophecy.
Yeah.
And it's like, and then the ending of the movie is they merge again and then go back into space or whatever, and then the planet's fine. And it's like, what the fuck, this poor planet?
Yeah.
This poor planet.
Well, I think it's possible that they were inhabiting the planet beforehand.
Maybe.
What the impression I got was that obviously they did a classic overconfidence where they're like, oh yeah, we're the best. We can totally mess with this crystal. I don't think they separated themselves on purpose.
It was probably a mistake.
I'm pretty sure, well, like, maybe they wanted to, like, separate themselves. Maybe they wanted to get rid of their, like, worse half or whatever. But, like, the idea was they started messing with this crystal, which brings them life or whatever.
Yeah.
And then they broke it, and then everything fucked up.
Yes.
Also, I think it's interesting, as in this world's law sort of thing, you know, how everything's you know, they're two races that are connected.
Yes.
But there's only, like, 10 of them left.
Yes. I think there only was 10 of them as well, I think.
No.
Or is there only...
I don't think so. I think they were a, like, full, like, billion people race, you know, to begin with.
Going off of the prequel, I think there were only 10 of them. But also, you haven't seen that, and also that might be very incorrect.
Yeah, well, I don't have the prequel's context here, so my theory still works, Sandro. Your theory sucks because it's using something I don't consider canon yet. So
you will when you watch it. You'll be like, "Fuck yeah, this is great."
I'm gonna hold with the theory that they had like a really big race, but once they split themselves, they couldn't like make babies. Like they couldn't make more. It's like a mule or whatever, like a half donkey, half horse, you know? They're just unable to make babies. Like they don't, I don't want to get into the nitty gritty of it, but like maybe one house over here, maybe one house, and it's just not working, right? So they,
for sure,
because if they had a baby, the baby would have to be made at the same time with the other one, right?
That's true, yes, that is
like,
correct.
So it just doesn't work. So they're just a race that is slowly dying out.
Yes.
Right? And it's only through the power of the crystal that some of them are able to live, because they the crystal gives them life.
That's right.
And the mystics that are alive are the lucky ones, because the Xexes that are like their other halves are the most ruthless evil Xexes. So
they're so evil, and like as soon as they split, there was some sort of like prophecy where it's like the Gelflings will destroy the Skeksis with the crystal or whatever. And so what these vulture creatures decided to do was just murder and eat all of the Gelflings. Just kill all of them.
I mean, it's your classic whatchamacallit, Roderick that Vin Diesel plays. What's
Riddick?
Name?
Yeah. Roderick. I want to watch Roderick with Vin Diesel.
sorry. Yeah. Roderick's my spin-off movie that I made for that one. It's totally different.
Yeah.
But the whole like they played in it's not really done in this movie, but in Roderick they have the whole thing of like the king played into the prophecy.
Yes.
When Riddick is like, oh, hey, you fucking killed all my people. I fucking hate you. I'm going to kill you.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's like, if he didn't kill all the people, the prophecy wouldn't have happened. Yeah.
Yeah, no. They don't really do that, but they also...
Or Kung Fu Panda 2. Kung Fu Panda 2 has that plotline as well.
Does it? I don't remember any but the first one, so I don't know.
2 and 3 are pretty good. The rest of them kind of suck.
Yeah.
3, I'm still on the roof about. But, like, in Kung Fu Panda 2, the whole thing is, like, the reason Poe's adopted by the fucking goose is that all the pandas were hunted down by the fucking peacock.
Oh.
Yeah, because literally the same plot happens of there was a prophecy that a panda would defeat him, so let's genocide all the pandas.
Let's kill the pandas.
Again, this is another, like, kind of trope story that is used a lot for some reason.
That's true.
Bad people, stop playing into the prophecies. If you hear... how about... different idea. You hear that some specific race of people are going to murder you. How about you be nice to them? How about you try and be like...
Nice to them?
Hey, we're cool, right? You're not going to go in the future and murder me.
Are you even listening to yourself right now? Being nice to people. What is that?
Maybe you have a point. Let's do a genocide instead.
But not only did they kill all of the Gelflings, which is, awful. The Gelflings are like, I don't know how to describe them. They're like fairy hobbits. I don't know.
Yeah. Fairy hobbits is a pretty good description because they're slightly smaller than hobbits by the looks. I mean, everything's pretty small in this world, so maybe they're not that small.
Maybe
they are just like hobbits.
I don't know.
But instead of being like a bit more roundish, they're a bit more skinny. The skinny little hobbit things. They have a bit of a. I'm looking for a better word, but like Arthur from the Aardvark. Yeah. From that show? You remember Arthur?
I didn't. Yes, I see it. Every day when you're walking to the crystal.
Down the street. Everybody that you meet is looking to kill you for the crystal. You gotta listen to your heart, listen to the beat, listen to the rhythm of the crystal.
No, you're right. Yeah, you're right.
They have a bit of the Arthur look.
Yes.
Combined with being a little small. And yeah, the girls have wings for some reason, which is a plot point later on. The girl is just like, oh yeah, I'm just going to fly now. And you're like, well, glide.
I can just fly around.
And he's like, what? And she's like, well, yeah, you don't have wings because you're a boy.
And I'm like, how does she know that? So Jen was raised in...
Yeah.
He was raised by the Mystics, whereas Kira... who is just Grimes, but if Grimes was a fairy elf. Grimes stole her entire look from this movie. Don't at me. This is correct, and this is canon.
I agree, full-hearted. I'll stand with you, brother.
Yeah, thank you for that. Just very, I don't know if anyone, whatever. She was raised by the Poglings, I think, but she's also a princess.
Yes.
Like, because she's Zelda.
Yeah, because it's a fantasy movie.
Yes. But she was raised by the Poglings, who are Ewoks.
Yes.
Crossed with the Fraggle Rock creatures.
Yeah, ooh, that I like that. That was a good one.
Yeah.
I support that.
They're the Fraggle Rockers. They don't talk whatever the main language is of the land, but they make music and they dance.
Yes.
But then there's also Aughra. I don't know what race she is. She's just kind of around.
Well, she's your classical, like, Greek mythology character of the witch.
Oh, yeah, true, actually. You're right.
Because she literally does the whole thing of, like, she takes her eyeball out.
Mm.
And, like, uses it to look around by, like, holding it, which was a very, like... I think it was Greek.
Maybe.
Where they have, like, 3 witches.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, and in that one, the 3 witches, they only have one eyeball between all 3 of them, which is very funny. And so they, like, take turns with the eyeball, which is very, very, very cool, very stuff. But it was, like, very that inspired. She's just the witch of the story.
Yes.
And it's funny because she doesn't do anything in the story at all.
No, but she's still my favorite character. I love Aughra. I think she's hilarious. I think it's a great character.
Yeah, I knew you would like them. Do you know why?
Why?
Because of her massive bahongas, her big old juggamajungas.
I don't know.
Her big old
I don't know.
badongos.
I don't know why she's built like that. She reminded me of
Oh, she's built all right. God damn.
Have you seen the movie Robots? The animated movie Robots, and there's the washing machine robot. Aughra just reminded me of the washing machine robot.
Oh, yeah. And there's like the one with the giant bahonka.
Yeah.
That big old dump truck. Yeah.
What a stupid movie.
I love Robots. I need to watch Robots again. Hell yeah.
I've been trying to find a connection for it for ages. The director of...
You should have done Monster Trucks to this one, because she's got a monster truck with it.
No, the guy who made Monster Trucks, I'm pretty sure, directed Robots, but I just decided to not do it.
That's crazy, dude. That's crazy. He do love a monster truck, if you know what I'm saying.
Woo!
Yeah, no, I'm just saying, at one point I was like, wait a minute, why does Aughra have, like, nipples? She has like visual nipples, which I thought was very funny. I was like, why is this so stupid?
But also we see the Chamberlain who's naked at one point, and we see a lot of him. He's also got a lot of like details. You know.
Yeah. It's funny. It's like, yeah, it's just kind of funny.
For sure. Oh, that moment when the Emperor like crumbles on his deathbed. I was like, ugh.
Yeah.
Yucky.
I like Olgra. Oh, yeah, the crumbler. Oh, that looks so good. That was sick.
Yeah.
I was not expecting it. It was like, oh, yeah, that's great. But also, Olga doesn't do shit in the movie. I like her. She's not a bad character, but she doesn't do shit. She's your classic, like, sassy character that doesn't take shit from anyone, right?
Yeah.
When she's put in front of all the guy, that's her best moment, is when she's just sassing off all the Zexies.
Oh, yes.
That was pretty great. I'll give her that. That was pretty poggers.
Poggers. Speaking of poggers, and the point I've been trying to make for a while, but I keep getting sidelined by other fun characters, the Poglings are turned into zombies by the Skeksis, and we get these zombie undead Poglings, which is just these creatures are so full of life. They're so happy. It's like taking an Ewok, right, and then making it look like a cockatoo at lawn, like one of those like zombie cockatoos. It's making an Ewok look all matted and yucky. Anyway, my point is, they took a cute creature, they zombified it, and it's awful. And this is not a kid's movie. It's very upsetting, I think.
Yeah, okay, that's pretty upsetting. I'll give you that. Yeah, except later on, they get their stuff back, it's fine. But also, yes, they do suck their life juices so that the leader guy can get a bit of... He can be young for like 5 seconds, then it doesn't work, and he gets upset at the guy.
That's true. What other creatures are in this? We got the crab people. They're cool.
Oh, yeah, the bad guys' little minion creatures. Yeah, they're pretty cool. They're your typical, like, big, beefy bad guy minions, where they're all muscle and no brains.
Yeah.
Which is pretty great. I really liked some of the just random creatures that we come across throughout the whole thing.
Definitely.
Like... We have a panning shot of, like, this little fluffy creature going through the forest, and then suddenly the rocks next to them close up, and you're like, oh shit, it's actually the mouth of a fucking frog that was there, right?
There's so much detail. It's great.
Yeah. There's so much, like, random stuff that's just thrown in. We have, these random, like, slug creatures that live in the mud that, like, save the main character at one point, and then it's like, oh, wait, and for no reason whatsoever, the slug thing just has some little babies with it, you know, which are very cute, and I'm like, oh. And then we have these, like, really tall, long-legged things that they ride on at one point.
The Landstriders.
There's those little bats, whatever the fuck their bats were called.
Glass bats or something, I don't remember.
Yeah.
It's so cool. All the designs are so inventive and like...
Yeah, definitely PogChamp.
Everything looks familiar enough for you to like know what it is, but it's also such a unique visual take on what it is. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
the fluffy dog just kind of rolls around everywhere, and you're like, oh, that's an interesting little thing.
Yeah.
There's those, like, living sea anemones that live on the rock as well. That was cool.
Oh, yeah. That was for, like, one scene. Those were really cool. Yeah.
Sick.
And they, like, scuttle away when there's some danger.
Yeah. But no, like, great designs. The Landstriders are horrifying, though. They're horrifying. I wouldn't ride on one of those.
Oh, yeah, very long legs. That was a little creepy. But that's okay, because they all die, Sandro, remember? Don't you worry, they die.
They all get thrown off a cliff.
It's fucked up.
It's so fucked up.
You know what? 13 and up, I agree with you.
This movie is not for kids. It's horrifying. It's more scary than The Brave Little Toaster, and that made me think about death.
That's true. That's true. That literally has the, like, concept of death right in front of it. No, I still think The Brave Little Toaster is scarier than this film, but...
That's fair. They throw the dog in a fire.
Oh, yeah, but he's fine.
He's fine.
There's a whole thing. It's, in fact, the only thing that Helga does is save the dog.
That's true.
So, you know.
She does. What else?
I liked the jewel. The stone-cutting jewel. That was a cool one.
Yeah, I liked that.
Jewel by stone. Which is, they get out these giant-ass fucking swords. This is, the Chamberlain and the guy who becomes the the master, the leader, or whatever his name is. I can't remember. But they grab out these giant fucking swords, and then they pull out this pillar that's got, like, all these stone cuts in it. It's like this stone pillar with lots of cuts and other things.
Yep.
And it's like, what the fuck is happening? And then they just start whacking at the stone, and it's like, whoever can do the biggest dent in the stone gets to win the jewel. Mm-hmm. I was like, oh, that's a cool jewel, right? Because they can't kill each other, because there's barely any of them left. So they need to not kill each other.
That's right.
But also, they need to prove their strength. So they fucking hack away at the stone, and then one guy, like, manages to cut the fucking pillar in half, and it's like, well, he wins the fucking jewel.
That's right. And the Chamberlain is exiled. He's stripped and exiled.
Yeah.
And his plan is so interesting, right? Because he's like kind of the good guy. He's not at all, but he's like,
no.
Like, he's kind of helping them, but you can see that, like, no matter how much he wants to help them, he's still just at his core, he's an evil Skeksis.
Yeah.
And that's, like, a really interesting part where it's like, if the Mystics tried to be evil, they wouldn't be able to. If the Skeksis tried to be good, they wouldn't be able to. It's a very interesting concept. I quite like the concept there.
Yeah, it has an interesting implied message there, yeah. But it's like, yeah, not even the Skeksis who's trying to be good can be good in the end, which is a bit...
Yeah.
I would have liked them to do a little flip the script and have him actually be good. You know, I think that could have been... Like, he has a change of heart or whatever.
But would that then mean that his mystic is evil?
I think maybe the mystic becomes evil, while the other one... Because the Skeksis tries to be good, it forces the other one to become more evil.
Flips it around. That's sick, actually. I love that concept. That's such a cool concept, though. Like, that would add so much more depth and just be cool.
They don't necessarily, one has to be good, one has to be evil. They could, like, even out.
Yeah.
And then, so you've got the, like, more good Skeksis and the slightly more evil and so it enables... like, one of the Mystics to do things that the other ones don't want to do.
That's true.
Like, he could, like, fight off some things or something. Like, there's something cool you could do there, you know?
Definitely. I think we've gone through everything. I don't think there's much else here to say.
Oh, yeah, we could go through the journey because, yeah, we haven't really done that.
We kind of have. But there's...
I derailed us immediately by mentioning the thing I wanted to mention earlier.
That's true.
Because we have the whole Luke Skywalker intro with the main character, right?
Yeah, Jen's interesting. I think the voice acting for him is so funny because it's like, I'm just a little boy and I've got a prophecy. I don't know what I'm doing. And I just wanted to go down to the station to pick up some crystal converters. Oh, I'm just a little boy.
Yep.
Yeah.
I wanted to go into the screen and fucking slap him and say, get back to fucking work. Come on, you gotta save the world, stupid idiot.
I don't know, like the journey really is, he just goes to Aughra, he gets a crystal.
Yeah.
And then he runs into Kira.
Yep.
And then they go to the castle. That's pretty much it, isn't it?
And then he saved the world. And that's it. Yep, there you go. See, we went through the journey now.
Yeah, you're right. There actually isn't that many steps. Like that's why it's like, it isn't really a hero's journey.
No, it isn't.
Because he doesn't change from the beginning to the end.
No, he's the same character. Like, the problem is we don't see the change of his character or anything. It's just like, there's a journey, and he completes the journey, and that's that. Like...
That's that.
Yeah, I would have liked to see a bit more character development from him, maybe. Maybe he, like, doesn't want to do it at first, right?
Reluctant hero, yeah, for sure.
Reluctant hero is a journey, because then he's like, then maybe the girl gets captured, and he's like, well, now I have to do it. I mean, it's still cliche, but it's at least an arc, right?
That's true, yeah, for sure.
Which, I mean, kind of happens at the end. There's some minor character developments at the end, but not really, because it's all just the conflict at the end.
Yeah, it's just him jumping onto the crystal to put the shard back in.
Yeah. Just some heroic feats, really.
Yeah. They almost kill Kira, though. That was close, actually. We didn't mention that. They start to suck her life juices through their machine or whatever.
But then she's like, Animals, to me, murder this fucker.
She does a fucking Snow White. Just
Which is great, because it leads into one of the best scenes of him, like, being fucking, emperored. By being chucked down the hole. Him dying, and then they cut to the Mystics, and one of them just erupts in flames and disappears. And they all, like, turn to look at him and go, huh. And then they continue on, and I laughed out loud. It was so fucking funny.
that part is very funny.
It was so funny to me, because they were just like, yep, one of us just... It's literally one of them spontaneously combusted, and they're just like, okay.
Yeah. No, exactly.
I mean, to be fair, they can do nothing about it, so, I mean, it's the correct reaction, but it was still funny.
That's right. I don't think there's a whole lot left to really say. I don't know, they fixed the world, the world's fixed.
Yeah.
It's no longer a desert, everything around the castle turns into, like, green.
Ooh, yeah, it has your classic, like, everything's back to normal sort of thing. I liked the boat scene where they like... fucking yeet a bat, and then later on the bat still sees them, so then they have the attack on the Wookiees.
That's true.
The Ewoks, the Poglins.
Poglins, yeah.
The little Poggies.
I did like how every time the crabs attacked, they just, like, fucking burst through the wall.
Oh, yeah, that was their MO. That really was their MO. They did not care for doorways. They always burst through a wall. That's very funny, actually.
That was very funny.
But yeah... that's when the Poglins get captured, and then they get their brain juices sucked.
Oh, it's horrifying. Just horrifying stuff all around.
Yeah. We do see the heroes free some later on, which is pretty good. Mm-hmm. That's when those long-legged things just get killed.
And I think when the Skeksis and the Mystics merge, they're all healed as well. I think. Oh yeah,
well, healed? What do you mean?
Like, as in, then they're no longer zombies. They get their life back. I'm not sure how that works.
Oh yeah. All the Poglins are fine at the end. Sandro.
Yeah, but I'm like, what's the science on that? Like, their life essence was taken away
because it was because the life essence was taken away by the crystal, Sandro.
Oh, and so the crystal gives it back because it's good now.
Yeah, because it's good now, Sandro. Yeah, and the reason it didn't give it the life before was literally because it's broken.
Yeah,
and once it's because their whole race thing. My theory would be that their whole race is like how they make others is using the crystal. The crystal is their race, essentially.
Yeah.
And so by it being broken, their race is broken. I mean,
maybe.
Just checks out.
How about that?
It's all cool.
Yeah. All cool, bro.
But yeah, I think I have also run out of things to say. It's a very cool movie. Made my imagination go...
For sure.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
It's good stuff. And you will get even more immersed when you watch the prequel, and you'll be like, I love this. So, yeah. We're taking a 3-week break after this episode, so watch the TV show in that break. Well, we're not, because we're going to be recording some more, but...
Yeah.
You won't hear them for a bit, because we need to bank episodes.
Maybe we can throw a Patreon their way or something.
Yeah. Maybe we can review the TV show on Patreon. I don't want that.
At some point, we've still got another series to do, Sandro. Hold your horsies.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Anyway, we'll get to talking about what that series is in a little bit. But in the meantime, I gotta say this: Dark Crystal, more like
it's X-Men. We're doing X-Men. Don't let Sandro gaslight you. We're doing X-Men. We're still doing that one.
Here's an ad break.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever think about switching insurance companies to see if you could save some cash? Progressive makes it easy to see if you could save when you bundle your home and auto policies. Try it at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary, not available in all states.
Do you like horror? Do you like the supernatural? The spooky? Do you like bone-chillingly, terrifyingly horrifying true stories of real life? But you're actually just a big baby like me? Well, my name's James, and welcome to the Scared Shitless podcast. Every week I retell a terrifying true horror story to friends and colleagues, as well as hear their true life horror stories and experiences. Join me as I go on a journey of ooky spookiness and scare myself shitless into making.
What a wonderful ad that was. That was the best ad I ever listened to. Now it's unless you listen to this on the Patreon where you can get ad-free episodes. It's now time for raving review.
Jesus Christ. Yep, all right.
Yep, that was definitely well thought through. It's part of the show where I go to the most wondrous, most magical, most whimsical place on planet Earth, which is Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh, yes, so whimsical.
Yes, unfortunately, critics are not whimsical.
Oh.
They're stupid. So I have to go to the true whimsical people, which is the audience.
Now, this one got, I'm just going to check the scores here. 78 from the critics, 81 from the audience. Audience prefers this.
Only slightly, though. Both pretty positive. It's like a 70-80 for me, you know? There's that little bit of thing, but I feel like that's a decent score. That's what it deserves, you know? It's a good movie. But there was a few interesting opinions here, that's for sure. Some truly whimsical opinions,
don't
I
say
will
that.
say.
All right, this is going to be great. I can't wait.
All right, so I'm going to tell you a review. You have to guess the score between 0.5 and 5. Are you ready, Sandro?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
Incorrect.
Ba-bong.
Steve says, I wasn't amused even as a kid.
Even as a kid, you weren't amused. Maybe that's because you watched this as a kid, so you were scared. Scared out of your mind. Person whose name I've forgotten.
Steve. It's a pretty forgettable name.
Very normal name.
I hate you, Steve. Your name sucks and your review sucks.
God, that's so rude.
I actually like Steve. Steve's a great name.
Oh, you like Steve, actually? Why don't you bloody name your kid Steve, then?
Oh yeah, like a kid Steve is a Steve feels like more a middle manager sort of name, you know?
For sure. I don't know, 2?
2? Ooh, close. It was a 1.
Oh,
it was a 1 out of 5.
very
Just
negative.
was not amused.
So
very,
brutal.
very not amused.
All right.
Well, you might like Virgo, who says, this story isn't amazing, but the world building is phenomenal.
That's pretty spot on, and might even be your bloody review, tell you that much. What would Zach give this? Zach would give this a 4, so I'm going to give it a 4. Oh, wait, no. You're going to give it a 4.5 because you're a nerd.
Wow. Okay, well, this is a 3.5,
it's not
Sandro.
you.
So,
Not you.
yeah. So, yeah, maybe you're dumb, actually.
That's true, but it's besides the point.
Ari says, very well made, but probably a lot more truth here than it might seem.
What does that mean?
I don't know. I have no idea. That's why I put it here, because I was like, what does that mean?
What do you mean there's more truth here than it might seem? What are you talking about?
I don't know, man. I read the review to you, man. You gotta tell me. I want to know what the truth is. You gotta tell me the truth.
The truth is that we all have a Skeksis and a mystic inside of us, Zach. The yin and the yang.
Whoa. So true.
We need to find our iridescent alien.
Oh, dude, Ari's
combine
onto
them.
something, I think.
That's going to be a 4 out of 5.
That is a 4 out of 5. Well done.
What the prophecy said. I get that one. So that's why I got it.
Speaking of prophecies, this review didn't have a username, but they said, LOTR, Lord of the Rings, wannabe has nothing very special to offer besides very unique character designs.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Is this a Lord of the Rings wannabe?
No, not at all. Not in any way. Didn't this come out before Lord of the Rings?
Well, the book was
It wouldn't
out.
matter. It's not even the fucking same thing. It's completely fucking different in every fucking conceivable way.
I'd say it's more The Hobbit because it's more simple.
The books have come out, for
but
sure.
like, not at all.
Maybe The Hobbit. It has similarities to The Hobbit because literally a small hobbit, but like, I guess that's what they're saying because the main character is like a hobbit, right?
Hobbit. I don't know.
But that's still stupid. That review is stupid, and I hate it.
This is more,
which is why I put it
It's
here.
more of a Star Wars wannabe than a Lord of the Rings wannabe, so I disagree.
Exactly. It like has one-to-one like scene things with the Yoda and Luke at the start of the fucking film.
I hated that review. That's going to be a fucking 1.5.
It was 2.5.
Okay.
It was
Yeah,
2.5.
alright. More positive, sure.
Because fuck you.
Yep.
All right. And finally, Francesco says, just like The Never-Ending Story, this film is good, whimsical, fun time.
I disagree. The Neverending Story's puppets are kind of bad, whereas the ones in this
Whoa.
are very good.
Whoa. I'm gonna go talk to Rock Eater. I'm gonna pat him on the toe and say, "It's okay, buddy. I appreciate you."
Fine.
How could you say that about Rock Eater? Everyone's favorite.
Puppeteering skills of Rock Eater wouldn't even be able to reach me.
I'm gonna put you in a rock and feed it to Rock Eater. Unbelievable.
I like how my opinion has not changed on Neverending Story. 5 years since we reviewed it. Fuck that movie. It's shit, Zach. And you're shit for liking it.
Whoa! Now I'm gonna need Rock Eater to help me. My ego's dead.
I don't even know. Pretty positive. I reckon it's probably a, you know what? 5 out of 5. Let's go. Why not?
Ooh, it was a 4 out of 5.
Close.
It was a 4 out of 5. Yeah. You were close, though. You were close.
I don't know what your one is because...
Which one do you think mine was?
I thought that yours was that second one, but you said 3.5.
Yep.
So I don't know if it is yours. And you like Neverending Story, so your review has to be the Neverending Story one if yours isn't that one. So I'm going to say...
Yeah, but what if I just found a Never-Ending Story one, and I was like, I gotta add that.
it's very possible. These movies are very similar, so potentially. I'm going to say it's the Neverending Story one, though.
It was me! I was the Never-Ending
cool.
Story!
Yeah, all right.
I was hoping the Virgo one would throw you off, because it is... I agree with it fully.
It really did, but the rating was not, yeah.
I've rated things lower than I think on this show before.
That's true. Anyway, that's the whole episode. Thanks so much for listening to Oldie But A Goodie. What a bloody podcast. We did a podcast about some puppets, and you know what?
Yeah.
The real puppet all along was some bloody politicians, am I right?
Whoa! So true. It's an allegory for politics, because they're all bad. They're all bad people. All of them
all
collectively.
If you like the show and you're like, hey, I want to help out the show because I like the show so much, what can I do? Well, I'd say to you, dear listener, I don't know, just send it to a friend.
Or go visit the Patreon and give us money.
What is that? Patreon.com/Oldie But A Goodie pod. Zach, what are we doing on there right now?
We're reviewing the X-Men series. Yeah. One that holds personal rosy tinted glasses for me and you.
Yep.
And
Well, mostly. Until we get to the shit ones.
Yeah. Which they'll still be on for me. But we're having a lot of fun reviewing those old movies. If you want to get any of the references in the latest Deadpool movie, you can go check out those.
Yeah.
You could also find some ad-free episodes if you want to listen to those.
Whoa! If you want to. Who would, though? Give us money.
Yeah. Listen to the ad ones, actually, though.
Yeah. That's right. And I think, I don't know if it's up at the moment or if it's up this week, but X-Men 2, we have watched it, and we will be reviewing it, and I'm looking forward to the opinions on that, because Nightcrawler's in it, and I love him!
I really liked Nightcrawler and the actor who played him. No spoilers, obviously. You can't Google that.
Very similar to the Pogling music. It's Alan Cumming. No, hated that.
I like Nightcrawler because he's religious in this, and he says the Lord's Prayer at one point, which is funny to me.
Patreon.com/Oldie But A Goodie. Links to the episode description. Also, subscribe to us on YouTube if you want. That's fun.
Yeah.
Drop a
you
comment.
can leave us a little review. We like to have a little giggle at those.
Yeah. All right, Zach, time for you to pick a movie from movies I've picked.
Ooh, yeah, I'm looking forward to this. It feels like it's been years since I picked a movie, so I'm looking forward to this one.
There's a twist here. There's a big twist here. So, some of these are just a movie.
Okay.
So, some of these are one movie, but
That's what we normally do.
but there's a couple options here that are actually bonus battles in disguise.
Whoa! What do you mean bonus battles in describe? Please describe that to me and not to the audience, just for me.
Well, we do this thing on the podcast where if there's two movies that are similar and we want to review them at the same time, we do a bonus battle where we review them at the same time and we make them fight
No, I don't think we've ever done
to
that.
the death. We've done it so many times.
I don't believe you.
And so there's a couple...
You could say these bonus battles are like you've gotten one movie and then broken the crystal and separated them into two different separate beings.
That's pretty correct, yes. And so I've got two movies here that are... two options here that are actually bonus battles in disguise.
Holy shit.
If you pick one of them... and it's a bonus battle, you're going to be like, oh shit, I picked a bonus battle.
Okay.
And I'm doing this without letting you know the week prior because we're taking a break. So
Ah, nice. So we have extra time.
There's time
I
to watch it.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
so I'm looking forward to this. Now, the way that the connections work for the bonus battles on how I've done it, we can change it in the future, but they are both connected to Dark Crystal. So they both have a connection to the Dark Crystal. The connection might be the same for both movies, or it might be different, but either way, the movies are connected to the Dark Crystal.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No, they have to be connected, obviously. I think by law they have to be connected. Like, it's a legally binding writing right now that they have to be connected.
Exactly.
I would argue they have to be connected the same way, but you don't have to do that. I mean, all our connection...
I think I can connect them the same way, but but I prefer the joke of how they're not.
Oh, yeah, no. I like that better. Because normally you can't use the same connection twice.
Yes.
But I think for a bonus battle you could. But you don't have to. Yeah,
But you don't
I like
have
that,
to.
actually.
Yeah.
I like that. Okay.
So anyway, you got 6 options here. It's a lot.
6 options?
You've got a lot of
Christ.
options.
Jesus Christ.
I cut it down from 8. There's a lot of movies that I wanted to do.
Damn.
All right, so let's do this. Okay. I will give you the gimmies.
Nice. I was going to see. Let's see what these gimmies are.
Number 1 came out in 1986.
Ooh. Nice.
And it is a fantasy film.
The way you said film implies that might be a bonus battle, Sandro.
Potentially any of these could be.
I'm reading into the lines here, yeah. I got to take all these hints I can get.
I don't want to give you cast, so I'll give you...
Yeah, no, that's fair. You can skip over cast, because it's also, for the bonus battles, it's harder to do cast because you have to pick one of the movie things. I think that one doesn't quite work, but that's fine.
Yeah. Okay, option number 2. Mm-hmm. It is from 1989.
1989, okay.
And it is a horror movie.
Ooh, it's been a while since we've done a horror movie, although we did Silence of the Lamb, which is kind of horror-y.
It's true. Your third option is from 1989 as well.
Ooh.
And it is
It's actually a bonus battle with the previous movie.
And it is a comedy.
Comedy. I do occasionally laugh sometimes.
That's right. Movie number 4 is, and don't worry, listeners, I'm gonna get Zach to cut some so that you don't have to remember all these movies.
Oh, yeah. Don't worry. I have one question I want to ask, and then I want to cut 3 of them. I want to chop it in half.
Yeah, cool. All right. Your fourth movie is from 1976.
1976. Ooh, that's pretty old.
And it is a horror movie. Another horror movie.
Another horror movie. Oh, we got some horror options. I think the Dark Crystal's getting a bit darker by the sounds of it.
Your 5th option's from 2005.
Whoa, that is very recent.
And it is a adventure movie.
Okay, so that's Spy Kids. It's got to be a Spy Kids film.
Potentially. And then your last one is from 1997.
1997. Ooh.
And it is a historical fantasy movie.
Okay, yeah. I was like, fantasy. Yeah, that checks out.
Fantasy! Oh, ask your question.
I have one question for you, and I was thinking about it before because it's funny, and it's going to make this one really interesting. If your movies were X-Men
God.
and or mutants
Jesus Christ. Okay.
and or superheroes, which ones would they be? You can make up a power if you want to for some of them, but I'd like you to link it to one that exists already.
I don't... Oh, God.
And then I'm
All
going
right.
to kill off my least favorite mutants.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Okay, oh, God, this is hard. Movie number 1 is Jubilee.
Ooh, okay. I like Jubilee. Jubilee's fun.
Jubilee. Movie number 2
Yep.
is Magneto.
Ooh.
Yeah, Magneto. Yeah.
Magneto is one of my favorites.
Yep. Movie number 3 is Dazzler.
Dazzler. Wow. Okay, someone is Googling the mutants
Yeah.
right now.
Dazzler. Movie number 4 is Rogue.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Do like a bit of Rogue.
Movie number 5 is Toad.
All right, guaranteed staying in. I'm never cutting Toad.
And then movie number 6, I'm going to have to go Storm for that one.
Storm.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm going to have to go Storm.
Okay.
So, yeah.
All right, so now I've got to cut, and I'm going to cut them. I'll just go by keep, because that's easier for me, because I'm keeping Magneto.
Okay, yeah, you're keeping Magneto.
I'm keeping Toad.
Oh, okay.
And then I have to make a choice. Toad is definitely a mistake to keep, but
yes.
but
Don't keep
gotta-
that one.
I gotta respect my boy Toad. I
All
love
right,
my
sure.
boy Toad.
Yep, cool. All right, yep.
I think I'll keep Rogue.
Oh,
Yeah.
all right.
And I feel bad for the other ones. I feel bad
Ugh,
for Jubilee
alright.
specifically.
Jubilee is out, Dazzler is out, and Storm is out.
I think Storm's overrated. Fuck you, Storm.
That's so incorrect, but okay.
Cry me a river, Storm. Rain me a river. Like, weather me a... Fuck you, Storm.
All right. You got 3 left. You got Magneto,
Yeah.
you got Rogue, and you got Toad. So now you got to ask some questions, more questions for these 3.
Give me some colors. I want some colors for these. Give me a pair of colors for each of these.
Okay, so...
If they're a bonus battle, you grab one color from each.
Oh, God. Okay.
I made this more complicated for you.
you did make this. This is going to take... This is going to... Fuck. All right. So, Magneto, which is a horror film, that is red and green.
Red and green. Ooh, green's a little interesting. I like the green.
Ooh, now this one's interesting. This one's very interesting, because Rogue is actually red and white.
Ooh.
Yes.
What was that one? What genre?
That's a horror. You actually kept the 3 more horrifying options.
Yep.
Out of all
Well,
of
that's the vibe
ones.
I want to go with.
And then
For real. And Toad?
Toad's like piss yellow and brown.
That's so Toad. That's so Toad. I'm gonna cut Toad. I don't want to deal with Toad. Like, you saying Toad and piss yellow? I gotta cut Toad out of here.
Alright.
Toad's gotta leave. I'm sorry, Toad. But whatever the
bye,
fuck
Toad.
you are, I cannot. Whatever the fuck's happening there.
I'm glad, because I was hoping that you would.
I could hear the
that
pain
one.
in your voice when you said I'm keeping Toad. So whatever the fuck you put there is clearly some cursed option.
There was one fucked option and you cut it, so I'm glad that you cut the fucked one.
Yeah. I felt that. I felt that vibe. You were like, ooh, and I was like, oh yeah. I was very tempted to pick it just on the fact that it was Toad. I was this close, but
I'm not going to say it's my Son of the Mask, but it honestly might be my Son of the Mask.
oh
option from when
yeah,
you do
that's
that.
definitely
Yeah.
a Toad vibe.
All right.
Right. Yeah, I forgot that guy's in it, isn't he? From fucking Spy Kids. Oh my god.
That's right. All right, you got 2 options left. You got Magneto, you got Rogue. I'm just going to use their X-Men because I think it's a fun way to do it.
Yeah, no, that's great, because that's what I'm comparing right now.
Okay.
And they have both great powers, so I feel like these are great movies and not Toad. So, this is tricky. All right, we watched Dark Crystal. Let me... If either one of them was a creature we saw in the Dark Crystal, which of these creatures, you could use any creature
Oh,
or
fuck.
person.
All right.
You could use the Chamberlain or whatever, you know. You
Sure.
could, yeah.
The Magneto one is like, yeah, it's one of the Skeksis. I don't know which.
Skeksis? Okay.
I don't know which one. Oh, I like how you've kept the two horrors as well.
Yeah.
It's I'd say it's the Skeksis. I don't know if it's the Chamberlain, but I think look.
Yeah, you are going off vibes a bit, you know.
That movie is like an ensemble. There's a lot of characters in it, and so I'm just gonna say it's the Skeksis.
It's the Skeksis as a race. Yeah, like you could just say the creature a Skeksis. It's a Skeksis. Okay,
right.
yeah.
And then Rogue, I'm gonna say it's Aughra. Yeah, it's Aughra.
Oh.
That horror movie is Aughra.
Oh. So I'm getting a lot of feminine vibes from that movie.
Sure, why not? Why not? I guess.
I'm just saying you picked Rogue and Aughra, right?
Well, there's a reason why I've picked both of those, and I don't know. I'm not giving you any more information for free.
Yeah, no, that's fair. It's a horror. Like the main character could just be a woman who gets like murdered or something. Like there's a lot of things that could happen here.
I'm gonna give you one more question, then you're gonna make a choice.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I was gonna say I don't think I've got many more questions left in the chamber. So if they were to pick a class in D&D, what class would they play? If they were to build a character.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. There you go. There's a bit of fantasy for you fucking nerds out there. Yeah.
Well, I don't... Okay, hang on. I need to get a list of D&D classes.
That's all right. I know you're not a real nerd. You're just fake it for the internet.
I am not a real nerd at all. Okay, this is a good question. Okay.
I mean, literally one of the classes is called Rogue.
That's true.
You know,
but actually, because like
there's
Rogue,
bards,
can I do like
barbarians?
subclasses? Like I don't know, like Thief. Not that has got anything to do with these movies.
Yeah. You could go Rogue Thief. Like you could go as deep into. You could pick a race. Like it's up to you, Sandra. It's how you.
Okay, I'm gonna say the Magneto movie is a rogue assassin.
They're like a min-mat. They just want to kill. This is murder. They're a horror movie. They just want to kill.
The Rogue movie is like a chaotic, evil warlock.
Oh, a warlock. You know what? I was leaning more towards Magneto before, but now you said warlock, and warlock is my favorite class in D&D.
Okay.
And like murder hoboing isn't really. I'm not huge on the assassin rogue. It's like fine. It's like you could do cool stuff, but
I don't know if it is like I feel like it's not really like I don't know exactly. Like it could also be a druid. You know what I mean? That first option could also have like druid elements to it as well.
There's an arcane trickster. That's a rogue with magic.
Oh, actually, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Yeah. Rogue with magic could work. I'm just like that one covers a lot. The Magneto one could be a lot. It is violent like a rogue assassin. It does also have like some magical trickster elements as well.
Okay. They have like I hear what you're saying. You could make a dual cast character then. They're a rogue druid. Assassin rogue, Circle of the Land, or whatever. Yeah,
totally,
okay,
totally.
That makes them a lot more interesting. I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
Just don't want you to completely write them off, but also you've got to write one off now and make your choice.
Yeah,
so, You should do that as well.
Oh, this makes it really hard because I like both of these options now. Because I'm like, if I was going just on X-Men, I'd probably go Magneto because he's my favorite.
For sure. Yeah, for sure. Fair.
But then I'm going classes. I'd probably go with Warlock.
Yeah, totally.
Because Warlock's my favorite. And I like the Skeksis. This is really difficult.
That's right. It's tough. Made it a lot easier when you cut 3 good options. Kept fucking Toad. fucking dickhead.
Man's salty about that one. Man's salty I cut the 2 good options and kept Toad. But you say Toad, I'm going to have to keep Toad.
That's true.
You say
That's
piss
fair.
yellow, I'm kicking out Toad, though. If Toad starts pissing everywhere, he's kicked out. Like, I'm like, oh, yeah, I love my boy Toad. And then he pisses on my toaster. I'm like, never mind. Actually, Toad, you suck.
Oh, dear. Would you like a subgenre?
Yeah, I'd like a subgenre. I know I'm not allowed another thing, but like just a subgenre. Just
Magneto's horror sci-fi.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, okay, you got a bit of magical stuff happening. I got you.
Rogue is like horror mystery. I would say more so. Yeah.
Fuck, that didn't help at all. Shit, they both sound good. I'll go with Magneto. Fuck it.
Oh
I'll pick
god.
one.
All right. Fuck yeah. Let's go.
I gotta pick one. I was thinking about it. That was really close. I could go either way on these.
Yeah. Totally.
I just gotta pick one. I like Magneto. He's my favorite boy.
All right. Well, I will go through what you've cut.
All right.
Leave Magneto up to last. I am going to go from option number 1. So Jubilee.
Yep.
Which was a fantasy movie. That was Labyrinth.
Damn.
That was Labyrinth. Yeah.
If I hadn't picked Toad, I would have picked Jubilee.
Yeah.
So
Jubilee's a good one. Classic movie. Love Labyrinth. Jubilee because of the orbs. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah. Labyrinth was definitely one I would have chosen as an option, obviously. They're always paired together. If you search up one, you'll see the other in the suggested options.
Exactly.
It's great. It's a classic. I was literally talking about it the other day with my parents when we were talking about Dark Crystal. I was like...
Yep.
Because I was like, oh, I haven't seen Dark Crystal. And they're like, Dark Crystal? Oh, my God. Have you seen Labyrinth? And I was like, yeah, I've seen Labyrinth.
Definitely. Yeah, Labyrinth is great. I love Labyrinth. I think it's better than Dark Crystal, to be honest, just across the board. And my connection there, obviously, was Jim Henson directed it. So, but anyway, you cut that one. I'm going to skip Magneto. Let's go to Dazzler. Dazzler was a New Zealand comedy by Peter Jackson called Meet the Feebles, which is a parody of the Muppets.
Oh, that sounds pretty fun.
It looks ridiculous and raunchy and just kind of fucked. In general.
I do love a bit of New Zealand humor. New Zealand humor really tickles my fancy, so that would have been good.
I said Dazzler because it was bright. Just bright. Okay, the horror that Rogue, you were so close. It was The Omen from the 70s. I said Rogue because that movie is about a kid who may be the devil and he sucks the souls of like people and shit. So you know, like the soul sucking powers, kind of similar to Rogue a little bit.
Yeah, it's got a creepy child in it.
Yeah, always wanted to watch it. Looks fucking incredible.
Yeah, no, I haven't seen this one.
My connection there was the actor that plays Aughra is in it as a demonic nurse.
Oh!
That was my connection.
Well, that's a good connection. And good that you said Olgra, obviously.
And my connection for the Feebles obviously was puppets. No, it was just the connection there.
Yeah.
Fuck. Toad is a movie called Mirror Mask. Look this up real quick.
Mirror Mask? Oh, boy.
My connection is that it was the Jim Henson Company who was behind it.
Oh, my God. What the fuck is this?
It's an ugly-looking, dark fantasy.
Oh, that is weird.
Yeah, it looks gross, right? It looks awful.
Yeah, this looks like a toad/piss.
Yeah. I kind of didn't really want to watch it, but I thought it would be funny to put in as an option.
Oh,
so.
yeah. That was pretty funny. That is weird.
The historical adventure, which I think I picked for Storm. I picked Storm because it's like connected to nature. You know what I mean? I would have gone more like Poison Ivy. I feel like is a bit more. That one was actually a bonus battle between two Studio Ghibli movies, Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind and Princess Mononoke.
There you go. Hey, my roommates have been watching every weekend. They've been watching Ghibli movies.
Nice.
So that would have been cool because I could have been like, hey, I'm going to watch this Ghibli movie.
Yeah. It would have just been for the podcast. My connection there was actually my partner's connection. The connection for Nausicaa was princess who has a small predator pet and there are scary bugs.
Well, that's a good connection. I mean, maybe a stretch, but maybe not, I guess.
That's right.
But also, I've done the math, Sandro. I'm doing the calculations here. You said there was 2 bonus battles in here, and you've only said 1 bonus battle.
That's right. You have picked a bonus battle. Before I get to that, the connection for Princess Mononoke was princess who was raised in a magic forest and wears a cloak with a hood.
Yeah. I'm just saying, I figured this out. We're doing a bonus battle by the sounds of it.
We're doing a bonus battle next week between 2 horror sci-fi slashers.
Oh, shit.
Zach, you've picked... So, for the majority of your questions, I answered them as the first movie that we'll be doing in the bonus battle.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Which is called Puppet Master.
Ooh.
Yeah,
I wonder what the connection is.
The connection for both of these is puppets.
Whoa. Oh, no. I know what the second movie is.
The second movie is called Demonic Toys,
I didn't know what the second movie was. I lied, actually.
which is another horror slasher with puppets in it. But that one's more funny, I think.
Oh, wow. Yeah, this one definitely has a lot more, like, humor looking at it. A bit more tromery.
I said Magneto because Puppet Master, the backstory of the Puppet Master is directly linked to World War II, as is Magneto. So that
that's a great call. Wow, well done. That's a good connection.
Now, next week we are doing, yes, Puppet Master versus Demonic Toys. However,
I thought it was going to be Chucky.
Oh, that would have been good. But no,
Right?
that's too good.
I was like,
that's
good. 2 toys, right? No. I like this better, though. This is cool.
Well, the reason why I did Puppet Master versus Demonic Toys as a bonus battle is because there is a movie called Puppet Master versus Demonic Toys that came out like 10 years after both these movies came out.
Damn.
That we could do in the future if we want more. But yes, we're doing Puppet Master from the late 80s and Demonic Toys from the early 90s next episode rather.
All right.
Yes. Fuck. You actually picked that one. I was hoping that was what you were going to pick.
Nice.
And you went for it because I miss doing 80s horror movies, so you know.
It was close. That was a really close one at the end there. It's always tricky once you narrow it down because the more you narrow it, the more you just like the options you're left with. But I'm happy with it.
All right. Fuck. These are going to be bad, probably. Can't wait. Zach, you're doing that next week, but we are on break, so we'll see you in April.
April.